Hey fellow traders, I'm back with a market outlook video. Now in this video, I want to show you the bias for the new week and the key levels to watch out for so that you will avoid buying into resistance or selling into support. Now, I'm going to use the MPE trading strategy. So if you're new to this channel and you have not yet gotten your free copy of the day trading guide, please go get it because I'll be analyzing the market using the MPE trading strategy. So just a very quick refresher, the MPE strategy stands for market condition, price level, and entry. Now, I will leave the link to download this free day trading guide in the description down below. Just check this website out. Download your guide, it's totally free, and I will send you the guide to your email address. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for this video. Now, let's start off this video by looking at the Forex Factory Economic Calendar. This is what we always recommend because it tells us what the market is going to be looking at and the type of market condition that we will be facing. So next week, we are going to have the Canadian news. We're going to have the BOC, Bank of Canada rate statement, and a Bank of Canada press conference. Okay, so this is important. This is a big event. And then you have the monetary policy statement of the Euro and the ECB press conference, which is another big event. Okay, so during such weeks where you have press conferences, the markets tends to be very stagnant until after the event happens. So for this week, please be patient, right? Don't expect the market to move much from Monday to Thursday. Okay, wait for the news to be out. Wait for the press conference to be over, and then your price action is going to be much clearer, and that's where it's going to be easier to make money. Okay, so please be patient. Understand that last week was a difficult week. Okay, this week is also going to be a difficult week. Okay, so please manage your lot size and your risk properly. Now, on Friday, we have the Canadian news, we have the employment change and the unemployment rate. So this might be something that will move the Canadian pairs. So potentially we could focus more on the Canadian pairs and start looking into trades such as the dollar CAD, the CAD yen, and all the other CAD pairs. So moving on, let's go into the charts and let's talk about the key levels and the bias. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is look at a DXY. Okay, DXY stands for dollar index, and understanding the dollar index is very important because it tells us the direction of USD, and USD is the currency, it's the main currency. So if you know where a dollar is headed, then you will know the direction for most of the currency pairs, most of the major currency pairs such as euro dollar, pound dollar. So if dollar is strong, then you would naturally expect euro dollar to be bearish, pound dollar to be bearish, dollar franc to be bullish, so on and so forth. So right here we have DXY, and DXY is in a very clear uptrend right now because you have a swing high, you have a swing low, and then you have a higher high. Okay, and in fact on Friday, price actually closed substantially above this swing point over here. So let me just draw it for you so that it's clearer. Okay, over here, so it closed above. But right now, what happened is that if you were to look back historically, you will see that there is actually some form of support previously over here, support here. So I'm expecting this level to hold as resistance. Okay, so again, we might not trade direct in the DXY. Okay, I believe most of you don't trade DXY. Personally, I do not trade the DXY as well. Okay, but it tells us the direction. Okay, so dollar, we expect it to be bullish, but maybe you might get some retracement down first. Okay, so just be patient for other currency pairs such as euro dollar or pound dollar. Just be patient and wait at a good price level to trade. Okay, because right now our dollar is running into resistance currently. Okay, so if this level is broken, then there is some space towards the next level, which is this level over here, 93.07. Okay, now let's talk about euro dollar. Now euro dollar, it's let me just adjust this first. Okay, euro dollar, it's long term. You can see there's actually an uptrend because you have a high, you have a low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Okay, but in the short term right here, it seems to be like a retracement. So you have a uptrend, and then this entire thing seems to be a retracement. Okay, now if you were to look back into the market structure over here, you can see that there's an entire zone of support right here. Okay, so it's very difficult to trade, and I'm very cautious with trading euro dollar right now, because what happens is that you might think that the support, for example, some traders, they might just look at this and they say that, oh, this support is broken, I'll take the short, and they do not realize that there's actually an entire zone of support over here. Okay, so what happens is that price might just go up. Let me draw it. It might just start bouncing from here. Okay, so if you really want to short this euro dollar, okay, remember our bias is that dollar is going to strengthen. Then just wait for this level to be broken, right? See a very nice break, and that's why I drew the arrow down. Then just wait for the retracement. Okay, do not chase the breakout, because I do not want you to short into support. Okay, this is entire zone of support. Okay, remember, support and resistance are an entire zone. They are never a single level. Okay, I might draw it as a single level so that you can easily see it. But remember that it's always a zone. Okay, so just be careful. Bearish for this one, bearish bias, just wait for the support to be broken and then trade the retracement up. Now, let's talk about pound dollar. So pound dollar is pretty interesting because last week we talked about buying on this level over here. So I did not remove this level. And if you have bought over here, then you probably will have lost money, because on the next day, you have this doji here. And then after that, you have this bearish engulfing pattern over here. Now, in fact, if you've taken this trade last week and you saw this bearish engulfing pattern over here, then you should have actually exited this trade, because what this engulfing pattern is telling you is that this resistance over here is very strong. Okay, so you wouldn't want to be buying when there's resistance here. Okay, doesn't make sense for you to buy here and have the resistance here, and the risk to reward just doesn't make sense. Now, with that being said, the next level that I gave last week was this level here, which was broken on the Friday's close. Okay, so if you want to short, just wait for a retracement here. Try to get in a very nice entry here with a tight stop loss. Okay, the reason why your stop loss must be tight is because the support is very near. So if you get in with a very wide stop loss, something like this, let's say like this, and your target is here, the risk to reward is not going to make sense. Okay, so if you want to trade, do be very careful with your risk to reward. Make sure you at least get 1:1.2, 1.5 ideally. Because remember, the long-term trend is in the uptrend. You can see high, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. So just be very careful, okay? If not, just skip this currency pair and just look for long opportunities. Perhaps when price comes down here, wait for it to come up and then trade the right shoulder. Let me just draw it for you. Then this will be the left shoulder, this will be the head, and this will be the right shoulder. Okay, so this would be the safest approach. Okay, but if you want to take a very short-term trade, you can consider selling here and just taking profit here. Okay, but do not buy here because the structure is still bearish. Okay, wait for the market to turn towards the bullish side with the inverted head and shoulder first before buy. Okay, dollar franc. Now, dollar franc, it's very obvious there is a bullish trend. Okay, in fact, I would recommend you to trade dollar franc. Maybe not euro dollar, maybe not pound dollar, but dollar franc. Okay, why? Because it's a very clear uptrend. You have a high, you have a low, you have a higher high, and you have a higher low. Okay, so price is definitely bullish. Okay, but here's the problem with a dollar franc. Now, on Friday, a price closed here. And if you look left, price it's sitting on resistance. So on Friday, we do not know if this level over here, it's whether it's actually broken or not. It seems broken, but price might just come back and retrace down. Okay, so regardless of whether price retraces down or just carry on going up, okay, our bias is the same. Okay, we want to be buying. The only question is where do we buy? Okay, so personally, I prefer for price to retrace downwards. Okay, because this is a very strong level. You can see this was a previous swing high, and if you scroll back here, you can see that this level is very strong. Okay, so ideally, I would prefer to wait at 0.9193 to buy. Look for a candlestick pattern here and take it out. Okay, I would not chase the breakout over here. So moving on to Aussie dollar. Now, Aussie dollar, it's very difficult to trade. Okay, last week I talked about how if price breaks this level, then this level might act as resistance. And true enough, we actually got this resistance holding. Okay, so we kind of have like a left shoulder here, a head here, and a right shoulder here. On the flip side, we have a left shoulder here, head, and a potential right shoulder over here. Okay, so we could actually draw one more level over here, which is the left shoulder level, something like this, and our price is kind of near support. Okay, but because we have this swing low, swing high, and swing low right here, I would prefer to be selling rather than to be buying. Okay, so if it's possible, I would like price to come up somewhere here, look for a candlestick pattern, and then I'll short it down. Okay, short it down. Just be very careful because right now we are in a kind of like a reversal play, right? This whole thing seems like a big reversal pattern. So you have to be very careful and you have to take your profits fast. Okay, don't expect the market to start trending, okay, to just go down like that. Okay, it's going to have a lot of support coming in this zone, and this zone. Okay, so if you sell here, try to take profit fast at the bottom somewhere here. Again, I would recommend you not to trade this. Okay, between all of these currency pairs which I've gone through so far, I recommend trading the dollar franc, staying away from the euro dollar, pound dollar, and Aussie dollar. Now moving on to Kiwi dollar. Kiwi dollar is very similar to Aussie dollar. Okay, last week I showed you this trend line over here, and if you had bought on this pin bar over here, okay, this is actually not a good setup. So let me just take some time to explain why this isn't a good setup. Okay, so while it looks good because you know it rejected the trend line, if you were to look left over here, you are still buying into resistance. Okay, so this is very important. That is why in the 3-day trading guide over here, let me just scroll it up. In the 3-day trading guide over here, we have the 3 steps, which is market condition, price level, and entry. So price level, in this case, you have resistance. So you don't want to be buying into resistance. So this isn't a good trade setup. So if you took this trade last week, then this is a good lesson for you to learn. Okay. Anyways, price eventually broke it, and right now it's back into support. Okay, there are 2 ways to trade it. You could potentially look to buy up and then take profit here, or you could just wait for it to come up here and sell it down. Now, of the two, I prefer to be selling at the top, okay, because you have the trend line confluence coming in as well. So if price comes up here, you have the entire zone of resistance here, and you have the trend line. But let's say if you were to buy here, you only have the support level coming in. Okay, so I would lean towards selling rather than buying. Okay, again, remember that our DXY is telling us that dollar is going to be strengthening. So it's better to lean towards selling Kiwi dollar than it is to buy at support over here. Okay, price might also just break all the way down, and what you can do is just wait for a retracement up and short it down as well. Okay, depending on how the market trades next week. Now moving on to dollar CAD. Dollar CAD, it's very difficult to trade, although we have the CAD news next week, which might potentially move this currency pair a lot. So let me show you what I'm looking at. So right here, you can see that there's actually a left shoulder here, and that's how I got this key level here, and of course this swing low here. So this is the left shoulder, this is the head, and this is the right shoulder. Now, right here we have resistance as well. On Friday, you see that price spike this level nicely, and this is a spike here as well. So right now, price is in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so the best thing you can do is to wait. Okay, do not try to chase the market and trade in the middle of nowhere. Okay, ideally, I would prefer to buy again in line with dollar, right? DXY being bullish, rather than the selling at the resistance. Okay, now if you look at this movement up here, so this movement is very bullish. You have 2 extended range candles that close near the top, and then this is kind of like a retracement down. Okay, retracement down. So I would prefer to be buying rather than selling at resistance. Okay, there just seems more strength in the bulls than the bears, and I prefer to lean towards the bullish side. Okay, just be careful if you were to buy here. Remember that we have resistance here and here, so you have to take your profits fast. Okay, so something like this. Let me just show it. Maybe you get a nice candlestick pattern somewhere here and you target here, and you still get a nice risk to reward of 1:1.92. Okay, so this is how I'll trade it. Now moving on to dollar yen. Now dollar yen is also a currency pair that I recommend trading because it's very easy. Okay, it's very easy. You can see that this is a high, this is a low, this is a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So it's a very clear uptrend. Okay, so these are the kind of trades that you want to take. Dollar yen, dollar franc. Okay, these are the kind of trades that don't require much analysis, and it's very clear. Now on Friday, price did a very nice break of this important level over here. Let me show you. So right here, this 107.97 level, this was resistance as well. This was resistance as well previously. So you can see that this is a very strong level. And that's why I'm looking for a break retest setup. Okay, it has already broken. Just look for a nice candlestick pattern, try to get in here and target the next zone of resistance, which should look something like this, and you get a very nice risk to reward of 1:1.63. So how did I get this zone of resistance? Let me just show you. If you scroll backwards, you can see that this entire zone here, okay, it's resistance, 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 and resistance. Okay, again, I want to remind you that resistance and support is always a zone. It's never a single level. Okay, so I box it out. Just take profit just before the level. Okay, do not try to be greedy and aim for the middle of the level or the extreme of the level. Okay, the last thing you want is for price to come something like this and then start retracing, and then you don't lock in the profits. Okay, so please exit before the zone of resistance. Now let's move into gold. XAU US dollar is gold. So gold has finally broken support. Okay, but right now it's parked at resistance. Support. So let me show you the support. You can see over here that this was the high, turn into support, support, support. So this 1681 zone is a very, very strong level. Price is very close to it already. Okay, so right now is not the time to be chasing the market. Okay, if you miss this trade, please be patient. Okay, wait for the retracement back into the resistance. Okay, the other thing that I know many of you are tempted to do is to buy at support right here. Okay, but if you are still struggling as a trader, you're new to trading, you're not making money, please do not trade against the trend. Okay, there's a reason why I recommend that you stick to the MPE trading strategy if you are new. Okay, because it works and it's the highest probability setup. Okay, it's very simple, right? It's simple but powerful. If the market is in a downtrend, you should be looking to sell only. Okay, do not think of buying. Okay, if you are buying in this kind of market, then it's going to be very difficult for you to be profitable. Okay, because it's going to require a lot of skill on when to get in and also to get out at the right time. Okay, so please do not do that. Just be very patient. Okay, not skip this gold trade. Okay, but ideally I would prefer for gold to retrace up here and then look for a sell back down here. Okay, do not chase the market. Now Euro Pound. Euro Pound is also a trade which we recommended for the past few weeks, the past few market outlook videos that we did, because it's a very clear downtrend. You have the low high, lower high here, lower low, and so on and so forth. Okay, and you have the resistance here and support level here. Now this level is given by, if you scroll back, this here, this entire zone here, and here this line is this spike high over here. So these are the levels that we are looking at, and right now price is in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so please do not chase the market again. So there's only two ways to trade this. Number one, wait for price to retrace higher and take a short down. Or number two, wait for the support to be broken and short it upon a retracement back up. Okay, please do not buy here. Again, same thing as the gold trade. Please do not try to be hero and trade counter trend. Okay, there are plenty of good setups that are with the trend. So stick with the trend and do not go counter trend. Now on to the last currency pair, which is the pound yen. Now, pound yen is also in a very clear uptrend, and this one is a bit harder to trade, okay, because previously we highlighted that this zone over here, this entire zone is entire zone of resistance. Okay, so what happens is that price on Thursday, right? This is Friday, this is Thursday. On Thursday, price closed above the entire zone of resistance. Okay, however, if you want to trade this, you should put your stop loss somewhere below here, more as a swing trade, because this is the entire zone of resistance, which is now support. Now, you do not know whether the support is going to come in here, 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 or here, right? So it's very hard to trade. So if you really want to trade this, my recommendation would be to maybe use a Fibonacci extension, Fibonacci retracement, right? So this is a little more advanced. Try to buy at the 0.618 or 0.768 level and do it something like this. So at least you get a discount, you get in with a smaller stop loss, and at least your risk to reward is more lucrative. Because if you were to chase the market right now, your risk to reward is going to be very bad because your stop loss should go below here, because this is the entire zone of support. Okay, it just doesn't make sense to put your stop loss somewhere in the middle of support, and then if price goes lower, you get stop out. Okay, so your stop loss has to go below here minimally, and if you chase the market, your risk to reward is going to be very bad. Okay, so try to get in a bit lower, maybe something like that or something like this, so that your risk to reward is good. Okay, again, if you are a new trader, you do not really know how to trade using the Fibonacci or like fine tune your entry, then please skip this setup. Okay, but if you do decide to take it, then your next profit target should be over here, which is quite some distance away. So there's some meat to be eaten, to make some money if you do decide to take this trade. Just be careful with your risk to reward. So scrolling back in time, you can see that this was actually the high, and this here, and this here. So this is a very strong level. So just be sure to take your profit before price hits this level. Okay, so that's it for this video, right? This video has been a bit long. Okay, again, if you are new, please go grab this day trading guide over here. It's totally free, right? I'll leave a link to this guide in the description down below. Totally free. I'll send it to your email address. Everything is delivered instantly. No credit cards required. So please go get it, and please go study the steps involved. And if you're new, right, you need to know how to read the market condition, how to use a candlestick pattern, and all those good stuff is provided in this day trading guide. Okay, so thanks for watching. Please trade safe. Next week is going to be a very difficult week, as I showed you in the Forex economic calendar right here. So please manage your risk well, and I'll see you in the Telegram channel.